about that movie is convoluted and it's mostly dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea what was going on, but I was scared shitless the entire time.
It's terrifying.
I have no idea.
Terrifying.
All right, so going back, so we digress. We're gonna get lost in the woods today on the wrong turn, and
wrong turn to cabin fever.
Boom.
Boom.
So we're lost in the woods and we are stuck in a cabin. We're gonna do the 2002
the
original Eli Roth directed Cabin Fever, a budget of $1.5 million. Did you know that?
I think I did. This is Eli Roth's first directorial movie, I believe. I'm sure he did lots of shorts and stuff like that, but his full feature, I think. And I absolutely fell in love with the man after this movie. Not to mention he's in it.
I did not know he was in it till this go around.
Yeah, he's in it. He's a very short part.
Grim.
Is that his name?
His
That's
name.
So stupid. I forgot.
We'll get to it.
But also, okay, let's go back in time. It's 2002. I'm probably watching it around that time, maybe. Mm-hmm. He was so hot to me in this movie. I was like, oh, like I had such a crush on his little character. He was like cool. He's like, you want some weed? Like
he's like Dr. Mambo.
He's like, hey guys,
here's my dog.
He's my dog,
and he's got a bunch of weed.
Do you guys want to smoke some weed?
Oh, well, what is it? He's like, yeah, we did some crazy stuff like
his
that.
His acting is terrible.
Oh, 100%. He's like, oh, face.
Terrible.
I was just like, this thing is so cringe right now.
It's so cringe. Love him to death though, but I did think he was like the hottest person ever. I was like, yeah.
I'll give him that. He's a good looking dude.
He's a good looking man. Still is. But his directing has gone way superior. He's done Hostel. He did The Green Inferno. His take on horror, I think, kind of changed the genre. Where he's a huge part in it.
A clear example of like how a low budget movie can make a bunch of fucking bank at the theater. It made $30 million.
And he hit 1.5 as his budget.
That's huge.
Huge. And it's iconic. And we talked about, there's a 2016 basically exact remake of this. And Eli was on board. I think he produced it. He did not direct it.
This is kind of weird though, because on his IMDb, it just says producer, actor, writer. And I'm like, where's his
No, he's a director.
Stuff? Absolutely.
He's a director.
I'm just trying to see if there was anything else before that. After this, he did 2001 Maniacs, or a producer on 2000, and then Hostel.
The Hostels he was very well known for. Did he do all three Hostels? Or just
if
the
not,
first?
He was definitely a producer on.
He was definitely a producer and probably executive producer on the other ones, but he for sure did the first one.
He's also a producer on some like Grindhouse trailer segments.
He has done so much horror. He's on so much. Whenever I see his name on anything, I'm like excited. I was like, he had at some point, like even when it's bad, I kind of get mad at him.
Oh yeah, because there's a bunch of like The Man with the Iron Fist starring RZA. You ever watch those?
No.
They're like basically kind of just like make kind of like an ode to, was it Kung Fu exploitation films, and it's just starring the RZA, and he has iron fists.
That's literally it.
Literally, and it's just like a giant Kung Fu movie.
He also did Hemlock Grove, which is a Netflix series.
Yeah.
And it was so Twilight. Like, it was sparkly little vampires, and it was just...
Might have seen a couple seasons.
They did 3 seasons.
And I got to 2.
It was bonkers. It was a really odd show. I think he directed the first episode, and I will say I watched that one and I was like, this is Eli, totally. And then he didn't direct any other ones, but he was a producer, and it fell really flat. I don't know. So
he wasn't a producer on Hostel 3.
Okay.
So he was part 2. It's like, he got a lot of criticism for Hostel 1, and then I feel like...
Well, Hostel is rough.
It's got a lot of weird, like, xenophobia in it, and, the fucking characters aren't great. But then it seems like a lot of people like Hostel 2 because it kind of, like, redeemed itself by the way he made the characters.
Yeah.
The Last Exorcism, I don't remember. I think that's the one that ends in the cabin, right? Or in the barn? No, that's Emily Rose.
He did that last time. I didn't even know he did that one.
But producer.
Oh, producer
okay. On everything here.
He produces a shit ton.
The Sacrament.
He puts his name.
The Stranger. I'm not sure if I know. The Clown, which I have seen.
I do like The Clown.
You've seen The Clown? Yeah. You've seen The Clown.
I've seen The Clown.
Oh, that
I've seen the clown.
Okay, cool. This is why we're doing this podcast.
Exactly. We were meant to do
I don't know
this.
anybody else has seen
We're
that.
just like, and we were also talking about Ghoulies the other day. You're like, I don't know anyone that's watched fucking Ghoulies. And I was like, I've seen all the Ghoulies.
We do have a correction from our last podcast. You were saying that Leonardo DiCaprio was in Ghoulies. No, he was in Critters.
Oh, it's Critters. Fuck.
3.
Right.
Oh,
No.
it's like there's a bunch of
There's
we're
so many
splitting
stupid
hairs
things.
here. It's
Critters.
yeah.
Sorry, Ghoulies, Critters, easily confused.
Haunt, which I haven't seen yet, which I kind of want to see 2009.
Oh shit, I should watch Critters.
And he's doing. Then he did like that little like history of horror, which is not bad. I think it's on Shudder.
Yeah, Shudder.
That was fun. And he's doing a thing now. He's doing a documentary about the shark poaching industry.
Yeah. Oh, he's huge on like that, like being like anti-shark poaching, which is we all should be. You should not be fucking killing sharks.
That's cool. That's cool.
Like,
I mean, that's like
he's huge on Shark Week. He's a big environmentalist, and that kind of thing.
If you have the platform to speak on it, why not? Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna click on Cabin Fever.
Sorry about the man. Fucking now.
It's the man with a chainsaw. It's our local mascot.
He just comes out with a chainsaw whenever we start recording.
So it's funny that you were saying that you didn't remember this intro, but I
didn't. I was like, when you started playing it, I was confused. I was like, is this the new one? You're like, no. I'm like, oh, well, I guess I totally fucking forgot.
I do like it how it turns to red, right?
It is fun.
It's like bad Photoshop.
It's
very
okay. Go back to 1.5 million budget.
Yeah, you're right.
But like you said, like they did a good fucking job, though.
You're right. Oh man, I can't wait to see like the middle school, version of Cabin in the Woods, because this is basically a play. Or like a Cabin in the Woods, but Cabin Fever.
Cabin Fever. Oh, and basically, I would love to see that.
A bunch of middle schoolers. Don't touch it. I'm sick.
I'm so sick.
That would be great.
Oh my god! And obviously these movies are clearly all pre-COVID before we went all through that trauma.
Oh my god! All right. So when you suggested, like, all right, cool, I'll watch Cabin Fever, then watch it, like, this gives me so many vibes of going on a few years ago.
Oh yeah, when we were like, don't touch anything, don't drink the water. Like,
oh my god, I was just like getting triggered. I'm like,
it's a little triggering. Where you're just like,
very reminiscent.
Where you're like, don't even stand next to someone who's infected. Like,
fucking hey. So we gotta.
we're on. It's 3 years. It's been 3 fucking years.
Yeah, I forgot about this dude altogether.
But he's the one that starts it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I guess you never really find out where this virus come from.
Not true.
Unless it's, I guess, the dog.
Not true.
I mean, you do.
Not in Cabin Fever 3, Patient Zero.
Patient Zero.
Right. So
wait, does Patient Zero star the guy from Goonies?
Yeah.
Okay, no, I have seen it. It's just been I need to rewatch it.
So you've seen part 2. I have not seen part 2. I've seen part 3. Oh, you just said you saw part 3. Okay.
I have seen it.
Sean Astin.
Sean Astin, that's his name.
That's fucking Samwise Gamgee.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck, from Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
He's an award-winning actor.
But he's also the main guy in fucking Goonies.
Yeah. It gave me the feels yesterday.
Stranger Things.
He's
in that.
It gave me very nostalgic for Sean Astin and Goonies, and I did a Sean Astin double feature, so I watched that, Patient Zero, Cabin Fever 3, and Toy Soldiers.
Toy Soldiers.
Which was like an action movie, which is like kids versus terrorists, very Red Dawn in a prep school sort of feel.
I remember it.
It's not very good.
Okay. It kind of sucks.
It's not very...
my favorite character is this guy in the green hat that says F you.
That gentleman is played by...
I love him.
He's great. We also have...
I really like him.
James DeBello.
James DeBello. And this blonde man who has been in, he was in so many of my childhood movies. I remember him a lot. What is his name?
Joey Kern. Playing Jeff.
And he's like they're all kind of assholes, but I guess he's kind of the main one.
He doesn't seem like he starts like that necessarily, but he definitely ends up being like that.
Well, because he's the one that's selfish, and he's like, But at the same, you can't.
They're all. James DeBell's character's name is Bert. Bert's also a fucking dickhead. The only one that seems to be somewhat of a nice guy is
Ryder Strong.
Ryder Strong from Boy Meets World.
Boy Meets
fame.
World, and his parents named him Ryder Strong.
And it's Ryder Strong sporting the worst haircut I've ever seen.
Awful.
I kept looking.
Oh, the pancake boy. I can't, like, why would you just go sit? You know, it's okay.
I mean, like, yeah, I get it. Why would you sit next to? They're out there. They're having a good. They're on vacation. You're on vacation. You ever been on vacation mode and just been more social? You're just like,
you're just happier.
I'm just going to talk to every random person.
Which is the exact. So Ryder Strong gets bit by
Pancake Boy.
Which I just call him Pancake Boy. Yeah. And then his dad, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, they showed up. They're going to a cabin for spring break. Woo! Right on theme. We're right on spring break time.
Okay.
I would be mad if my friends were like, let's go to a cabin in the woods for spring break.
I was like, a week?
A week?
A week in the woods?
I kind of would be like, we're going to get up to some murder, I bet.
I was like, a weekend, maybe. 2 days. You get 2 days.
A Friday, Saturday. And then we come home, right?
100%. Especially when they finally get to the cabin and they're not doing anything.
And it's also the shittiest cabin. It better be like a luxurious. I want like a spa bathroom. Like, it's awful. But the aesthetic of this, though, I think, like I told you earlier, I was like, I'm from the Midwest, grew up in Minnesota. In the cities, but I would go up north all the time to see my grandparents, and like this is exactly what it looked like. There was like shitty fucking little towns, just random like garbage and old, just everything. Like, and so I don't know if it's like a little bit nostalgic for me or familiar.
Yeah,
I'm just like, oh yeah, I know this corner shop. Been there. I've been there. I met Pancake Boy.
We met Pancake Boy. And we were kind of getting like sort of like the beginnings of what Eli Roth's like aesthetic and character development in his movies is, soon to become.
And this Santa kind of guy that runs the shop, who's very racist,
the gentlest, but he turns out not to be.
He turns out not to be, but he got like you're like, oh, he's a little.
It was the longest, setup for a joke.
Ever.
And it just didn't.
And I kind of respect Eli for that. It's like, okay, they brought it back.
They brought it back. I was like, all right, that's fair.
Well, you totally coined him as like the racist man, but he's actually okay.
The language is a little dated.
Oh.
Especially in the first like 5 minutes of the movie between this and what they call each other, like just back and forth.
What do they call each other? I forgot.
Oh yeah, they use a bunch of like homophobic epitaphs, and then some of the R words used over and over again.
Oh
just like in the same dialogue.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh yeah, this movie might be why they remade it.
It's probably why they did the 2016 one, because they updated it a little bit. But again, the 2016 one is almost exactly similar, but updated script. But as far as like what happens to them, it's pretty much the same. Yeah,
it feels like it's the same part 3 takes place on an island, but almost, I don't want to say beat for beat for the like way somebody gets sick, nobody touched them. Yeah, we all got to find help. That's pretty much beat for beat the same.
Yeah.
I mean, these are also like bare bones characters. These are barely characters.
They're barely characters.
They are fodder for, our flesh-eating virus.
Exactly. They're like, they're just here to get fucked up.
The Ryder Strong is like, it's weird seeing him play against like, his Boy Meets World character, because like he had such personality
in Boy Meets World. Yeah. And now he's just kind of like a nothing. Like because he's like in love with the blonde chick, but like is too much of a like too much of a loser. He like won't go for it.
Yeah.
Until we'll get to the point where he like tries to, and it completely backfires, and it's awful.
Dude, I want to talk about that, because I think I figured something out when
it's like awful. Where you're like, oh, like, yeah, it's just you're like, that was no. We'll get there.
And I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of scenes in this movie that are basically kind of like odes to other horror movies.
Oh yeah, Eli does that. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure this right here, crossing this little thing, is a thing from Evil Dead.
Probably.
And I just been like, I spent a little bit of the movie like watching out for these little parts, these little, what would I say?
Sorry, yeah, like literally that. I know that woods. I've been there.
Yeah, like this all right here, like
yep.
Evil Dead.
Oh, Evil Dead, 100%.
Yeah.
But once again, yeah, I'm not staying there for a week, you guys.
Like, who's gonna pick up all these leaves? No.
Who's gonna pick? I'm gonna go rake.
Oh my god.
In this like shitty cabin where you have a single guy, the couple, and then the other two, which are single, but like the one guy's in love with the other girl, and it's just
like it looks like that's barely a door.
Barely a door. And they're like, of course, we gotta fuck when we get here. Immediately. Because they're horny college kids.
Yeah, that's fair.
And you know what? Every horror movie kind of needs a little bit of a dumb sex scene. I feel like it always adds to it.
Which, I mean, sometimes it's weird thinking of this. They're like, are they in college, but are they in high school? Because like you hear about them going to school next year. So I'm like, there might be high schoolers. This is weird. And this right. Joey Kern, he's like going bald. So like it's hard to like think of him.
And then you have like the other guy that's like trying to like creep on them, like while they're having sex, and it's like,
yeah, Bert's
like, I'm gonna spy on you.
So this is what I'm saying. Like they go to the cabin, and then he brought a gun to shoot fucking squirrels. Like he had no intention of doing anything.
No. Drinking a beer, and he's like, I'm going to go shoot some squirrels. Oh, look, he goes, because they're gay.
Yeah, like,
there we go. That's a stupid fucking script that you think, like, no one fucking says that. Remember when that was like,
that was the thing.
You're gay.
100%.
Now we're like,
no, yeah,
you don't say that.
Yeah, it's like, it's not so cool anymore.
No, if anyone were to say that, I would be like,
He's not the only one that says it. She says it to him right now.
Yeah. You're gay.
Yeah.
This is so stupid. Yeah, it's bad. But these two, the blonde and Ryder Strong, like
Jordan Ladd, that's the actress's name, also known for playing Shauna in Death Proof.
Okay.
Yeah, she's the redhead that loses her leg. No, that's not.
She was also in a very terrible movie called Club Dread.
Oh,
you know that one?
The comedy?
Yeah, by from Super Troopers.
Oh man, it's something. I know that group.
Iguana? What are they called?
Not Lonely Island.
It's not Lonely Island. Broken Lizard.
Oh, so we're back to our.
Oh, they're having theirs.
Actually, they did that. They do a funny thing with this sex scene.
Oh, we're like
he puts a finger in his ass.
She puts a finger in his ass, which for 2002.
Hey, you know what? Who said Eli Roth wasn't progressive?
Exactly. Eli Roth was like, I like a finger in my ass. He likes it, clearly. Yeah. He's like, yeah.
Right here. This scene. Oh, to Creep It. Mm-hmm. The raft scene. Creep Show, not Creep It.
Creep Show. Yeah. I knew what you meant. I was like, yeah, you're right.
Like I said, these are barely characters.
They're barely people. We just want them to just get this, like, flesh-eating virus and despair.
But, Eli Roth's strengths aren't his dialogue.
Like, far as his directing goes...
No, there's some good stuff here.
His shots are great.
If you don't notice how good something is, like on the first watch, like I think you do a fairly good job. Like there are things that are artistic. Like say if you're watching a Wes Anderson, yeah, these are like pieces of artwork on the wall, right? But the filmmaking here is really, really well done, and he's put this movie together really well. That you're like you don't notice how well these shots are. I'm a little bit focused on how I keep focusing on Ryder Strong's bad haircut. Yeah. And like his pasty skin. Mm-hmm. Weird thing. There was like an interview with him saying that like fame was kind of thrusted upon him and he wasn't ready for it. So he just kind of like gave him a little bit of an anxiety.
Probably. I think any child actor, it's kind of got to be rough. Because I feel like your parents definitely have an input in that. Kind of been like, you're going to do this.
Don't be gay, she says.
There we go. She goes, don't be gay. Because he won't jump into the water with her?
No, he was like, she kissed him.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
James Bell was starting to fire. Okay, I didn't notice this part.
But again, they use the word gay as an insult a lot.
Yeah, Well, okay.
I fucking love him though. Like he is my favorite character in this movie, even though they're like shells of people.
Well, it's weird though. He started a fire.
He started a ring of fire
around the fire pit.
Around the fire pit,
not in the fire pit.
So it's like, are you trying to start an actual? Well, we live in California, so that's a serious thing. But this is clearly like, Virginia again.
Yeah, And he is one of the best characters in Detroit Rock City.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Detroit Rock City is another one.
He just killed. Oh, he shot at the guy from the beginning, who's now very sick. This is where we're getting into finally people getting infected. Oh,
and we're only 17 minutes into the movie, which isn't bad because part 3 took about an hour to get to anything.
Yes, I see. I feel like I might have just blocked that one out because I was like bummed.
The only reason I keep harping on part 3 is because part 3 is directed by this guy named Cary Andrews, and he's actually a comic book artist who's actually a very good comic book artist.
So you were like, I want to like this.
I want to like, because I was collecting that guy's stuff when I was like early college, and he does some amazing covers. I'm like, oh, and you can direct? And the opening sequence to part 3 is actually really beautifully done. But then there's a lot of use of like light flare because everything has a light flare on it because it's the year.
Also, he's like patient zero. He's like trapped in the one location the whole movie.
So there's fluorescent lights everywhere. Yeah. And but they use it. Entire first half of the movie is just light flares. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And you always have to remember, because it's fucking Hollywood, there's so much that goes into producers. So many people have a say in things, and it gets ruined a lot.
There were actually some really good, like as far as story-wise, there were actually some really good parts. There, in the beginning, they do this whole little slow motion montage of like how Sean Astin becomes patient zero or how he gets captured. So there's essentially a film before the film. It was gorgeous. Yeah. Then it feels like it gets worse and worse as it goes on. And then when you get to the end of the movie, there's a different montage of like how Sean Astin, what he does at the end. It's not the same as as beautiful as the first part because, probably budget wise.
This is my favorite. So they're telling a horror story about a bowling alley. And it's probably my favorite part of this whole movie, like the whole scene shot in that horror story that they're telling about a guy that killed the employees at a bowling alley. Mm-hmm. And also Eli Roth is in this scene. Yeah.
And this is where I really start to feel like Eli Roth's aesthetics more. I feel like that plays up more to Eli Roth's aesthetics more than this film does, essentially, as far as.
Oh, yeah. When you, now that we know it, you should. It's just so good. Like it's the film within the film. A film within the film. But it's such a good little touch. And I remember it fondly. Because they say it's that scene where they're like a head comes out of the...
oh, yeah, we're getting to it here.
The bowling ball thing. And it's Eli Roth's head. Love it.
I would never call my friend's girlfriend a slut. Jesus Christ.
You slut.
Yeah. But like their relationship, Ryder Strong and Jordan, like I don't understand why Ryder Strong likes Jordan other than she's attractive. Yeah, here he's got
you. There's Eli.
That barely looks like him for some reason.
Oh, he has a bald cap on.
Yeah.
You're right. There's no reason to like her other than that she's attractive. Yeah, he's bowling with the heads and the limbs. Oh, it's great.
I love that part. I love it. It looks like a little bobblehead.
Eli Roth's little smiling head and
Well, it's actually funny though because he plays two characters.
He plays that guy, and then we're gonna meet Grim
in less than 5 minutes. He plays that's not pretty good.
And like I said, I was absolutely in love with Grim for no reason at all, other than I thought he was hot.
Well, he fit that early,
cool.
Early 2000 aesthetics.
Grim.
He looks like he's in Godsmack or something. Like that.
Yeah, he totally does. He has a stupid goatee, and his acting is so
he starts out pretty good. He's like positive vibe, like you're fired.
Hey, like you're fired, man. And then he just gets worse. And he has a cool dog.
Professor of being a dog. This is so stupid.
You know what? 13-year-old Courtney was very dumb.
No, you know what? I'll give it to them because even the other characters are like, this guy's an idiot.
It's a positive bonfire, man.
I love that. I do love that. I don't know why that gets me so like I'm just like, hey, you know what, man? I
love a positive bonfire. Fuck yeah.
I do like.
I guess I'll smoke all this weed by myself.
Why would you be carrying a fucking pound?
That is also the biggest bag of weed I've ever seen in my life.
You've never seen a pound of weed before?
I've seen a pound of weed, but who has one?
Oh, yeah.
On them. Like,
yeah, exactly. In my pocket.
In my pocket. Like.
That is also in a bunch of movies, too. It's like, well, I guess I'll just smoke all this.
You guys want to smoke all this weed? And it's literally a fucking 2 pounds of weed. You're like,
His fake sideburn.
Grim is my skating name.
Competing
Berkeley at the X Games. This fucking guy.
God. I guess is that game where you just like all of a sudden you just touch somebody you don't know. He starts rubbing her back.
And she's like, oh, hi.
Yeah.
I keep remembering the fact that you mentioned that Joey Kern is like balding. And I'm like, you're right.
Dude,
I totally, it's like very like,
pronounced.
They put a bad wig on him. So, yeah, basically, Grim just shows up, they smoke some weed, and then he leaves. Like, there's really no other...
It's other than
we just needed to see Eli. We just wanted to see him again.
Yeah, does it really drive the plot
There's
along?
no point. Well, you do see him later.
You do see him later. I don't know if... Wait, if you go back for a second. Wait. I think Eli Roth looks back at the camera to see, like, to basically just say, cut. Wait, if you just take...
Oh, you're right. It does look like it does. He was like, cut.
Yeah, and the scene,
well, you know,
the only reason he's in that scene is to introduce the dog. The dog plays up a role later, Dr. Mambo.
Dr. Mambo. And I want to say that what was her name again? Ryder Strong and
Jordan Ladd.
They're being very coupley.
Yeah,
even though they've only kissed at this point.
They're
sitting next to each other.
Did you ever have a best friend like that? They're like, oh, we're just best friends. Oh, I've known you since 8th grade, but you know, we're just
a straight man.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Like
no, I guess is my answer.
Yeah, that'd be weird. Like if you you're just one step away from being a couple. Maybe in middle school I might have had something like that. Ooh. So we think Grim's at the door, but it's not Grim.
It's not Grim. It's the fucked up guy that
melting hermit.
He's melting is the correct word. You're right, and it's cool. I like it. And then the other guy shot him accidentally earlier.
Yeah, we glazed over the fact that
he's like, I didn't shoot that guy.
I mean, also like it's something about this disease makes you just you're delirious. You're asking for help, and you're not listening to what anybody tells you. When somebody tells you to stay away, but you just keep getting closer. Mm-hmm. I'm like, just stay the fuck where you're
Stay the fuck away. Also, he begins to start violently throwing up blood, which for me, I would be like, not going near that.
No, it's a little rough.
Yeah.
But everybody just keeps getting...
But the guy was like, help me. And all of them were like, no.
At this point, they could still survive if they just stay away from him.
Just stay away from the guy. Yeah. Like, because at this point, well, the water's infected, but we don't know that.
No, the water hasn't been infected yet.
And they just go and attack this man for no reason.
Well, the man's trying to steal their car because he's trying to get to town because he needs help because he just wants a fucking glass of water.
He's melting.
Ooh.
Oh, this is where he starts to violently throw up, and
which becomes a signature sign of the virus.
Of this virus,
everybody ends up throwing up blood in all the movies.
You melt and then you throw up blood.
Mm-hmm.
This is it. But at this point, like he's throwing up the blood, and they're still shooting him, and they're still attacking him with a bat.
These are the softest. There's 3 guys, and they're the soft. They've all missed him.
The 3 guys have just done nothing.
They spray him with hairspray, and then
one girl sprays him with hairspray. Now he's on fire. Now he's fully on fire.
Yeah.
I just think as soon as he started throwing up blood, I would have been out of there. Sorry, everyone. I'm like, nope.
And it's interesting how much in these movies they say the word pandemic, and before what I ever really knew.
And you're just like, huh?
I didn't really know what that meant before.
But now we do. We're like, we know what a pandemic is. Survived it.
Yeah, these guys did not.
No, they didn't. And it's interesting. I think about now we're on year 3, so 2020. I think about the early stages of that, and where I was mentally and all like that. I'm just like, fuck. That was rough. It was a rough time.
Those rough. Those first few months were very rough. Yeah. And I don't understand why like Ryder Strong's playing with honey. I never really understood that.
I never understood it either. I don't get why he was playing with the honey. So they're all upset because they set a man on fire.
Yeah, so I get that. Mm-hmm. I get that. Which I also forgot about that. They kind of traumatized. They realize they might have hurt somebody. They might be dead in the woods. They might be responsible for murdering somebody.
Their truck is full of vomit, blood, so they can't leave.
All right, it's the next day.
Okay, so now...
See that the car is...
Oh, the car is fucked up.
Why would you... I wouldn't even swing a bat around my car.
If someone was stealing it, you wouldn't... Or
not like hit the car.
No, not hit the car. But they were clear. They were literally like batting the truck.
Fucking...
And you're like missing the man completely.
Bert shot the car several times.
Several times. We all fucked up that car, so now they're all mad because...
The only thing I can see is like, yeah, they are probably good friends because they bicker all the time. And I have had those friends where we do nothing but fight all day.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Ooh.
Okay, so officially now the water's infected because the dead man that was on fire fell into the water.
Henry the Hermit.
Hermit.
We actually found out his name in a little bit. Has fallen into the reservoir because he was on fire to try to put himself out.
Yeah, but he's dead now. And now... the water is infected.
Yeah.
And so this is the start of all of it. You know what?
I would never drink.
We were talking about tap water earlier, and this is why you don't drink tap water, folks.
I would not drink tap water in a cabin out in the woods. I'm bringing 5
we're
gallons.
Bringing bottled
I'm bringing
water. We're bringing gallons of bottled water. No one's drinking out there.
There is I'm going to put it out there right there. There's shit in that water right there.
It's disgusting. It's like flaky.
There's flaky shit.
And then she's, of course, like, take a sip. So Jordan is the girl. She's...
Character's name is Karen.
Karen?
Yeah.
Oh, unfortunate.
You know what? But she's...
Is she a Karen?
Not really.
No, she's not.
She's
actually the most kind of
sympathetic,
empathetic one of them all.
And then Ryder Strong is being a simp right now. But just like, what do you need?
He just wants to get laid. That's 100%. All he wants. He doesn't give a shit about her, and we'll find out later that he's a major creep.
Look at that! I didn't even notice that there was shit in that water.
That's a disgusting water. And she just takes one sip, boom, infected, better.
Yeah. You want a sip of water, make you feel better? Has that
Do
ever?
you want my dick?
I thought they were gonna sleep. I thought they were gonna have sex right here.
But literally, that's what he wants to say. He'd be like, "Are you sure you don't want my dick right now?"
But are you sure?
But are you sure?
Oh. I was gonna say something about Jordan Matt for a second, but I forgot. Early 2000s.
Early 2000s.
Fashion.
Oh, the fashion. I do love his orange pants.
Ryder Strong's fashion sense is, dude, I hate everything about what you're wearing.
Ryder Strong, in general, is just...
He had to have been the biggest actor in this at the point.
Oh, yeah. He was like the name in this movie. Because everyone else is kind of... I mean, they're great, but they're not...
At this point, they're essentially unknowns, right?
Mm-hmm. They just coming across a woman.
Well, she's butchering her.
She's butchering a pig, but she's doing it wrong.
Well, yeah, 100%. Because you hear the pig squeal. So she cut
murdered.
She murdered this animal while it was alive, hung up, and
it's also not even bleeding.
You noticed it, right? Yeah. She's covered in blood, but it's not bleeding.
Yeah.
Like she was supposed to drain it first. Even I know that.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I'm not an expert, but I've seen Dexter.
I've seen it enough.
I've seen it enough. Exactly. She's so covered in blood, but there's no blood coming out of this pig.
And then what she finds out is that the pig is infected with something, and this infection's kind of going around infecting the animals.
Because they're trying to get a mechanic to fix the car they fucked up, that they beat up with a bat and shot. It's covered in vomit, blood.
The car would have ran fine if they just beat it up. But yeah, shooting a car, I wouldn't say that was the smartest thing to fucking do. And then she decides to help him out. She's like, yeah, I'll help you out. No problem. Yeah, I got a radio. I do understand what she's like. Well, I already left the house once today. I'm not going to leave again.
Yeah, no. As an adult, I'm like, no, I was already in town. So fuck off.
Fuck off.
Oh, it's her husband, right?
Oh, I think she says it's her brother-in-law or something.
Or she knows him.
Yeah.
She knows the guy that they
They have a
killed.
photo of
There's a
my
really
cousin
old...
Henry. Here we go.
Oh, cousin Henry. Okay, so they're not married, but they could be.
They still could have gotten help. Like, they could have just...
They freaked out.
Yeah.
Once they realized that she knew who the man they killed was.
Joey and Jordan... Oh, no, not Jordan. What is his name? Bert. Are not the best under pressure.
You don't really want them around. Bert for sure. Like, he's the worst.
He...
in his orange shorts.
He set the forest on fire. He shot the bum. He shot the car.
He kind of caused all this.
A little bit.
And there's this bitch fucking canoeing around.
Well, you appreciate it. She's like, well, I'm just going to...
No, she was like, I'm going to do some self-care. She's I'm done with you guys now.
Yeah, I'm going to go find them. And everybody essentially from here pretty much just like, everybody's kind of out for themselves. You don't really realize, like, fuck it. I'll just go do it on my own.
Oh, God. If I were her, though, I would have just fucking laughed. I would have beached this and been like, all right, here I go.
At this point, she still could have survived.
She could have, but she went back. This is a beautiful shot, though.
Yeah, right. Like, he did a nice shot of her. Like,
Mm-hmm.
She's very majestic going across the lake.
I would have fallen out of that canoe.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I wonder how many times... She
was very graceful, but I would have, like, fucking ate shit.
I was thinking about, like, how many times, like, did she got that right the first time?
The first time, I would have just been, like...
Easily just dunked my foot
into their water.
Falling over, 100%.
Like, good for
this,
her.
This shot right here, 100% right here.
It could have been Eliza Dushku, for all we can know.
Texas Chainsaw.
Texas Chainsaw, absolutely.
In slow motion. There's no reason to do this in slow motion.
No reason.
Because nothing happens here.
There's no reason to do this other than that was just an ode to Texas Chainsaw.
Mm-hmm. So you got Texas Chainsaw, Evil Dead, and I think I got like a couple more once we get there.
Which is probably why, like, I mean, as its first movie, I probably would have done the same thing. You know, you're kind of just taking, like, you want to be like, I love horror so much, and you're kind of putting it into your own film.
Yeah, like these are your inspirations. And I'm pretty sure this is just the house they stayed in while they were filming at the other cabin.
Yeah, this is where the actors stayed.
I'm pretty sure, like, there's just a bunch of equipment. I'm just going to play it back for you real quick.
No, because you're 100% correct.
That's just a bunch of equipment on the floor.
That is just a bag of equipment.
And you saw a cable on the other side.
Yeah, so they just stayed at this cabin, which is a nice cabin.
It's a cabin they should have stayed at.
Like, I would have been okay if we were at this cabin.
Yeah, it looks like a house. Yeah,
it looks great. There's a balcony.
There's a fern.
They have bottled water. The kitchen's great.
Yeah,
and then so Joey and Bert are already in this cabin, and
for the longest time, I thought they were brother and sister.
This couple?
No.
Oh, Bert and her. Okay.
And her, because the way they talk to each other, I'm like, oh yeah, like I could see that. You're talking to your sister like that. I don't understand.
No, but he's just rude.
Yeah.
It's not her house.
Which is like weird. That's why, like, I'm like, all right, he's not complete.
How did they get in there? You never.
Oh well, she just walked in.
No, I know she did, but the other two.
Yeah,
this isn't our house.
They never explain it.
Again, this is the house that they stayed in while filming this movie. And they just used it for this scene.
See, that's why I don't understand why, like, Jeff, it doesn't seem like that irredeemable. He's like, don't eat other people's food. So he's not like a shitty character until like the end.
He's not. Oh, this guy, I call him Doofy. He reminds me of a Doofy.
Oh, Hunter, that's probably what it was.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even get that.
He's very doofy.
I do like, he's like, you're a party man, man.
Party man. He's the cop. He's a local cop.
Yeah, played by Giuseppe Andrews, whose real name I cannot remember.
So that's Giuseppe Andrews.
Mm-hmm. The only reason is because, like, oh yeah, Key Largo, Florida. I'm like, what? Like, all right.
Of course.
Hometown.
Doofy.
That's I feel like a Momo for not getting that.
I know. It's okay.
Because the funny part is he rides his bike away.
I know. It's so good.
I was like,
huh?
This is like, yeah, because this out here becomes all, like, it's weird, like these little moments of like stupidity that get put into the movie.
I don't know. I think that's why I like it so much.
I'm like, you're not taking yourself that seriously. There's like a real cop.
It's like a real. Is he though?
He has a gun.
He has a gun.
He's got a full. I was like, all right, well, maybe they didn't give him a gun because, like, he's a cop, quote unquote, you know. You know, because that's not a real badge. It's like sewed on.
He sewed it on himself. Oh, but yeah, he's very like, oh, you guys up here to party?
Yeah,
like,
I love it. I was like, that's not a bad turn. I was like, I would buy that.
Yeah,
some fucking douchey cop.
Yeah, absolutely. I wish they would have given him a better outfit. It's a bad outfit.
That's getting
Karen? Oh, okay. So Karen comes out.
Yeah, Karen comes out. Have yourself
a big 40.
Just party. Oh, I guess, yeah, because look, you come across Grim, and then you come across this dude. And then the character's like, who the fuck are these people?
I guess we're just supposed to be partying?
Yeah. He's like, why do you want to leave?
Why do you want to leave? It's a party cabin.
Oh, you're the party man. We're going to have so many parties.
This is a major party town. Is it? I don't know. I just ran into Pancake Boy, and like that was it.
Yeah.
But it's a major party town. It's just a wild universe.
Oh, yeah, exactly, basically. And then I've never seen that guy smile. I'm like, I know why. He's got some weird teeth. Poor kid.
Don't smile. If I was Eli, don't smile.
And then he just go into this weird little tangent where he just likes to party.
And I don't know, whenever a man's like, I'm going to get some pussy, and it's like, oh, good. Jesus, you're not. Like, no man that says that gets it. So. Okay, so here is when Ryder Strong gets his creep.
Oh,
it's coming up.
Theory is that Ryder Strong, he's like, if I can't have her, I'm going to kill her.
No, that's your theory?
No, it's too far stretched.
Okay.
Because he doesn't know about it.
He doesn't know about it. Well, we'll get to it. It's coming up. He does.
Essentially. Well, in more
Essentially.
But he gives her the water that kills her.
He gives her the water that kills her, but he didn't know that the water was infected, even though it had flakes in it.
That's the first thing I do is look at a cup of water.
Of course it is.
The restaurant, I look if the cup is clean. Like
absolutely. Because as a person that's worked in restaurants, I know some shit gets tossed to the side.
Oh, and here we got our first
Grimm's dog.
Our second reintroduction to Dr. Mambo.
Dr. Mambo.
It looks like a pretty fucking grisly dog, you know? So then Marcy again showing her that she's kind of like a boss bitch.
She's a boss bitch. She just showed up with a gun. She was just like, bam.
100%.
She's the boss. She really is a boss bitch in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'll leave on my own. I'll go get help.
Yeah.
I'm the one who.
Her boyfriend sucks, so she's like, whatever.
She's really drinking that water.
she's caking it down now. The flaky, dirty water.
2002.
You know what?
Were you into bottled water at that time? 2002. Yeah, I was.
Probably. Oh wait, was like vitamin water a thing yet?
Oh, I'm not sure.
No, that was later. It was like 2005.
Yeah, not too far later though. Like not the like in high like. Or what year did you graduate high school?
I graduated in 2009.
2009. Oh, so you would have been in middle school.
I would have been like 6th, 7th grade.
Oh, so see, but if you had the tea and you boiled the water, they're trying to say that this bacteria is so.
It's so
strong
that you can't even boil the water.
Yeah, I guess because that's how somebody else is that how Marcy gets it?
How does Marcy get it? Does she drink the water too, Marcy later? Again, Ryder Strong just feeding her the water, but again, he doesn't know.
It's like her second or third cup of water. That
absolutely be drinking water, everyone.
I was like
trying to say you should be drinking water. Like she's hydrated.
Yeah, like he's so worried about it, but like here's more water. Like that's not really the thing that you're trying to like. Is that really what somebody needs when they're like they're freaking out like that? Like here's more water. Drink water.
I guess it's like a calming thing, but yeah, it just again he is just want to be like, do you want my dick?
Yeah.
Like that's all he wants.
They are spooning right now.
They are spooning, but
in the meantime, Joey and Bert are trying to fix the car. So if Bert could fix the car from the beginning. Why didn't he try?
I know.
Why did they go
so stupid?
Why did they go looking for
and
help?
they also walked around so much earlier. I would have just walked back into town.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I can't even tell you. All right. Growing up without a car, I can't even tell you how much easier it was to walk to places than it was to like wait for public transportation.
I walk everywhere, so I know these things.
You don't have,
I was like, I would have just fucking walked back into town. I don't think it was that far.
Yeah, you know more now than anybody. Yeah, it's right. I'm sorry.
No, it's cool.
All right, so this
for
is
the record, I can drive. I have a driver's license, but I don't have a car, so I literally walk everywhere.
Because our audience was concerned. They wanted
they wanted to know how I get around.
This is questionable.
I don't like it. So Ryder Strong and Jordan were spooning, but now she's very clearly still asleep, and he
decides to make his move.
He's making his move fine.
He had like 4 opportunities to make his move.
He had lots of opportunities, and
in this movie, they show us that he had like 4 or 5 opportunities to make his move.
But now she's asleep, technically asleep,
and this is just assault.
And it's assault.
Yeah, this is assault. And like you don't see her reacting because
she's not like she's literally just.
She wasn't even giving him any clues. She wasn't rubbing up on him or anything like that. Like she wasn't giving him any sign like this is what I want.
Nope.
Which sometimes that person probably should. Like if you're gonna make this move.
I know there could be like a little bit of like a kink or a fetish being like, wouldn't it be hot like if I was like sleeping? Haven't you heard that? Sleepy kind of situation. Oh God. So he thinks he's fingering her and he was just touching her fucking bloody wound.
Oh my God. And then then it's clear signs that she's been sick the entire. I love this part.
This is great. So she's infected, clearly infected, and literally Ryder Strong thought he was fingering her, but he was fingering her infected leg.
Oh, I see. I never picked that up. I thought he was actually fingering her, and that she was bleeding from her crotch.
No.
But it was the wound the entire.
That's how stupid he is too. He thought her leg was like her pussy.
He never got any. He never got far.
He got not even near it.
He never got to touch Karen at all.
Never got anything from Karen, and now they all hate her. Great friends.
Yeah, right. Like these are fucking assholes. They turn on you real fucking.
They turn on her real quick. So she's infected, but now they're like, you have the disease, and they're like calling her a whore.
Yeah, like what the fuck? Like,
Bert literally was like, you whore.
You goddamn whore.
Like, what?
All right, so going back to that, I love Ryder Strong finds out he's fingering, his hands all bloody. He turns, he looks everywhere and there's blood covering the walls because she's been coughing up the entire time. He had no fucking idea.
I know.
That's really
that was
good.
Great. Yeah, we kind of, because we were talking about
Eli.
It was like, oh, okay. Eli,
he's a strong filmmaker.
He's a strong filmmaker. Yeah. And the fact that this is his first one, okay. He is solid.
They're checking each other. We want to make sure.
Making sure everyone doesn't have any scabs or whatever.
Nobody's infected. Very much like The Thing.
And now they're moving Karen into the fucking shed.
All right. If you're Karen and you're sick and you're dying, right? You don't know you're dying yet. You just know you're sick. You have a giant gaping hole that somebody opened up in your fucking leg.
Yeah, because he was trying to finger your pussy, but 100%. He was fingering your leg.
Or do you willingly or voluntarily go to the fucking cabin or go to the shed outside the cabin?
Could I just be like, can I stay in this room? I've already been infected.
Quarantine.
I will quarantine in this room.
Yeah.
Like, she already fucked it up, with the blood and everything. She has her own bathroom in there.
Nobody's going in. Yeah, nobody's going in that room.
No one's going in that room. Leave her alone. But they move her to the shed.
I'm sure, shed's cold as fuck.
Yeah, that poor woman. Like I said, shitty friends. So shitty friends.
100%. I would never. I'm like, no, I'm just fucking staying in this fucking room. No. You have to fucking drag me out kicking and screaming.
No, I wouldn't even suggest that. If this, in this scenario, I'd be like, just leave them in the room. And they're like, Karen, we're just going to lock you in this shed because you're infected. And she says, fuck you guys, which is great. We just don't want to get it. It's very COVID-y. We just don't want to get it. Someone will keep watch with a gun.
Which we already know that.
No one does.
They leave her immediately.
They leave her immediately. No one's caring for her. Don't worry, we're going to stand guard and take it. Nope. Could have just left her in the room.
Oh.
In the tiny ass cabin, I don't know how many rooms there are. But they make you think there's like 4.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair. It's a studio.
It's probably the size of this apartment. But
Yeah.
we're like, no, it's a huge cabin.
We at least know there's 2 bedrooms.
Yeah.
The one's infected.
One's infected. They got to clean that room. Like, we don't want to get it.
I do like, essentially Karen was one-dimensional up until this point, but she does have a little bit of development here where she's just smoking a cigarette and she's just like in the darkness, just kind of accepting
her fate.
Yeah. Like, this was a nice turn of character. Like,
it kind of was. Yeah, you're right. You have to eat. Like, she's cool shot too.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to stop the episode right here. This episode ran a little long, so we cut it up into 2 parts. So tune in next time we play the second part of this episode.